Who won that Colts game? The Colts. Colts did. Nice. Okay.
Yes, please. Yeah, we'll start with a statement from Coach, and then if you can open us up.
Defensively exceptional. That was a really good performance on that end of the floor, and we made some strides there. We valued the ball. Seven turnovers is all we had. We forced 24. So it was a good game. We got 26 bench points again. We had 31 the other night. So we've got some production up and down that bench and the entire roster. So we haven't fired it all together yet. It just hasn't happened yet on the offensive end, but it's coming.
In that offensive rep, what do you feel about the shot selection out there today, especially in the first half?
I thought it was awesome. I mean, it was, the ball was moving. We made the extra pass. We call that good to great. And so we found some really good looks from really good shooters. And I don't know, I thought purposefully they were trying to miss them all that half. But you got to make some. And we just a tough shooting night. And sometimes that happens, but there's always a different way to impact the game. We found a little rhythm throughout that second half and saw a few of those three balls go in. But I thought the execution was really good. We just didn't finish the play is all.
And defensively, you guys both had 34 rebounds, both you and Long Beach. And you guys got 14 points off those second chances. How important is to get that ball in?
We beat them by 4 on the glass, 46-42. Don't take a rebounding victory away from us.
No, I meant 34 defensively.
Oh,
sorry.
Defensively. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at that total. Yeah, that was a big key in the game, is we thought the big key for us defensively tonight was keeping the ball in front of us. So we really did a good job of doing that, which meant they were going to shoot contested shots over some decent length, which are, the long rebounds we really got engaged with. And that allowed us to get out and run a little bit. That was our best offense for, I think, most of the night was our fast break offense. But, our kids, we like to play smaller for a lot of different reasons. It was really effective for us defensively, and I thought we really battled on the glass.
Early season, is it important to get some of these younger players some minutes so that if needed, they have some of that experience? Yeah,
definitely. And Murph, Murph is somebody that's going to be a really important piece to this season, and it was nice to get her out there. And I'm sure she'll tell you she should be making those shots, which is true. But, same thing with like Gianna and Kramer. So those kids seeing their first action really on the Moby floor it's just good to get the anxiousness out of your system and just get the feel of the game. And all of that is going to be advantageous as you move forward, because you just want you want kids knowing what's going on the floor. You want them comfortable. And it was nice to get him those minutes.
And we saw Alexis out there. She's probably one of the most experienced with Hannah. She was shooting really well today. What do you see from her as a leader on the floor?
Yeah, Bargesser?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she had a really nice game, and it was kind of quiet. She's a great leader. I mean, she does it in her own little way, but she's really competitive and does a lot of things on the floor that impact winning. And so, and she's a playmaker for us. She can get the ball in the paint, and if you see what teams are trying, they attach to those shooters. And so when that ball touches that paint, you're going to have somebody in there to score it, and she can do that from the guard spot. Brooke can do that from the guard spot. You saw Murphy get the ball in the lane. So she's a nice weapon and a really good experienced leader. I mean, she's used to guarding Caitlin Clark, Juju. So we expect her to be a little different level.
How do you feel like the depth of the team showed tonight, going from the bigs, how they got their looks in the paint, how the guys were able to run the floor? How do you feel like that showed?
Yeah, again, up and down that lineup, I thought it showed quite well. I think we'll be fairly happy with the film and how we spread the wealth around, and our bigs got the touches for the most part. I thought they really ran the floor well, and so I like our depth, and again, each game calls for something different, and I thought everybody was really ready to go, and where it really showed that where the focus was spot on was on the defensive end.
Let's talk about the way y'all came out right in that first quarter, outscoring them 24-4.
Yeah, great start, and defensively especially. I think it was midway through the first quarter we finally found some rhythm offensively, but we like to start fast. We like to set the tone defensively, and that was a great quarter to hold them to 7. Was it? Yeah, they had 2 quarters where they didn't get over 6 points. So we guarded well all night.
What's the expectation now going into a Gonzaga matchup on the road compared to last year's thrilling matchup here at Moby Arena? How do you prepare for that?
Well, Gonzaga, they played Toledo today. I'm anxious to see how that one went down. They're very good. They're very good there. It's going to be a sellout in that kennel thing. But they're always really good, really well coached. And, that's our message to our team is that, we play the game. We compete against the game. Yeah, Long Beach was the opponent. Weber was the opponent. But there's always a right way to do things from a focus standpoint, from an intensity standpoint, to an execution standpoint. And, we preach the waters are only going to get deeper. And we're going into the deep end on Thursday. There's no doubt about it. So, there's not a huge margin for error when you go into places like that. So our shot making is going to have to be a lot better, and we're just going to have to keep amping up, just the level of everything. But that's what I like about this group. Everything that we challenge them with, they really try to deliver.
How do you keep that energy that you spoke on right out the gate when it comes to taking on an opponent like Gonzaga next week?
How do we keep the energy?
Keep the energy that you have.
We're going to be really ornery to them in practice. No, I mean, these kids know what's around the corner, and so we just keep challenging them in practice, right? We've got to have a really good Tuesday, Wednesday practice. We just have to. We don't want an on and off switch and think, you can't half-ass it Tuesday, Wednesday and think you're going to, turn it all on Thursday. It just doesn't work. So we're just constantly on them to play to the level that they're capable of playing, whether it's in practice or a game. So I'm not letting up, okay? All right, you guys.
Sir?